All right, let's start out. Quick injury update. Obviously, he tried as much as he possibly could, and he's really, moving in the right direction. But Andrew Booth will not play. He's ruled out for the game Monday night. DJ, Jonathan, and Lucine are all in a great spot. We're excited about those guys all playing. And then Patrick Peterson had a scheduled kind of personal family, absence today. Fully expecting him to be with us on the plane tomorrow, heading to Philadelphia. Huge opportunity for our team. Obviously playing a really good football team on the road. Going to find out a lot about kind of where we're at, when we can travel away from our great home environment and go play in a really tough environment to go play in. So worked a really good week of practice. Tried to simulate as much as possible, but we all know noise out of speakers is a lot different than, let me get the number right, I think it's 67,000 plus. My 70,000 got ridiculed the other day, so 67,000 plus, our traveling party showing up for the game. So with that, I'll open it up for you guys.
Kevin, some veteran corners there. When they have experienced corners, how does that change things, or what challenges it present when they have not only talented but also experienced guys?
Yeah, both, Bradbury and Slayer, two of the better corners in the league, and it's going to be a real challenge for all of our receivers and tight ends when they get matched up on those guys to play with great detail, technique, fundamental, because you can't take one snap off against a group like this, because we know they're not going to, and every single snap in the passing game is going to be a battle. The same way it's going to be the up front with that group that they have, and then obviously two really talented kind of fly around type safeties. So I think this group is a really good defense. They've proven that. They play real complementary football with that offense and their ability to run it and generate explosives with how they kind of marry the run and the pass. Got a lot of respect for their coaching staff and how they attack people. It's all over the tape that they're doing a lot of really, really tough things to defend and on offense. And then defensively, this group's always played against a lot of these players for a lot of years. And I've had so much respect for obviously the guys that have been there a long time, but the guys they've added have really filled in really well in the roles that they brought them in for.
Is injury related to the offseason stuff that he had, or is it entirely separate deal?
As far as I'm concerned, separate. Yeah, something that just came up in the game, I believe on special teams.
We talked when he was drafted, he had a long history of injuries. Do you have any level of concern that as these keep popping up here?
No concern for me. Most of, I think the tough part for Andrew is he's such an explosive athlete and a twitchy athlete that those lower body injuries can tend to happen for a guy like that. And because of the injury we drafted him with, and we kind of brought him back from that, but he missed a little bit of that kind of build-up time, and then just an unfortunate ankle in training camp that kind of lingered for him here and there. So I think he'll be fine. I've told Andrew that he's done everything we've asked of him. I mean, he's so mentally prepared, ready to go every single week, and we're really, really excited about him and his trajectory he's on. It's just a matter of, a little bit of luck, bad luck here and there, but I have no doubt when he gets up and running, we're going to be real thankful we got him.
How do you keep him from being too down? You mentioned the bad luck, just not in his own head.
Yeah, you keep it about the process. You keep it about, hey, what can you be doing even during this, subtle setback to make sure, A, you're ready to go. We're going to bring him on the trip with us, regardless of whether, he's going to play or not, because it's just everything's part of that growing process for him, going through the pregame, going through, the meetings the night before the game, and then being locked in as he possibly can during that 3.5-hour window. So when we evaluate the tape come Tuesday, he feels a part of it, and if he's ready to go next week, he'll be ready to roll.
If I have the numbers right, you guys were in nickel 49 snaps or so of the game. Did that sound about typical for what you think you guys are going to do, or was that a function of what the game situation with the Packers playing catch up was? Or
yeah, I think a lot of times, Kevin, it's going to be what's on the field offense wise, and we're going to play teams that are 11 personnel based, and we may have different types of nickel out there. 5 DBs can look a lot of different ways depending on who's on the field with them. But with that being said, some games it's going to schematically make sense to maybe not match personnel, we call it, when, if you put 11 out there, some teams won't match personnel, and that causes some conversation for both sides as well about the plays you have to defend, the runs you have to defend. But I think with this group and the skill players they have and the ability to run the football, we got to be ready to go against whatever personnel grouping they put out there, and then have a really good plan that Ed's put together, to make sure that we can be there to fit every run, and then when they do play pass, we got to be sound. And then some of the biggest plays they get are when Jalen gets out of the pocket and kind of creates those explosives off schedule that are so hard to defend.
And you guys' strategy in terms of preparing for when Jalen does do that?
Yeah, we tried to give different looks this week, both in the run game, and then I thought Nick Mullins, did a great job all week long simulating, just his ability to break, contain, and keep his eyes up, because that's one thing. Some guys scramble to run, and they're real weapons to do that, which, I think when he does run, he's a problem because he's a tough tackle, and he has great understanding of kind of how to keep hits off of them and get on edges and things like good runners do. But he still scrambles with his eyes up to hunt up those explosives down the field. So it's a real challenge for our group. It's something we got to really be accounting for on a snap in and snap out basis. It's literally, this is one of those games where you take one snap off, you could have a perfect clean sheet the whole game individually, and then that one play, your leverage isn't right, or your understanding about who's covering the deep part of the field could really set you back, and it could be 7 points the other way. So how locked in can we be in a tough environment against a really good football team? This is going to be a good test for us.
Matt Daniels yesterday talked about what was seen on special teams. He didn't talk about his calves or anything, but he talked about meeting with him. I guess what is that transition like for someone who played so much just on defense in college to now having a role on special teams?
Yeah, I think it's the benefit of having the depth we do at that position, where we feel really, really good about where Lou's at, but he can play a real role and be a difference maker on special teams. He's done a great job kind of absorbing those roles and being available, in any phase we need him to be. And it's one thing to be available, but then to thrive the way I think Lou can on special teams in the time where we're building up towards him being a part of much more defensive snaps. So obviously, first and foremost, really fired up the way he handled his rehab and getting back this week. It was no small task, and he's 100% ready to go for this week, and whatever role he's on the field for, we're lucky to have him. You guys good?
Thanks, everyone.
You're going to see everybody in Philadelphia? Good deal.